A good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone is doing great. There is this message that has been sitting in my heart and I have been postponing to pass on, but I think today is the day. It is about the walk of purity. And when I think of this topic, it reminds me of Genesis 39, the story of Joseph. The Bible tells us that Joseph was a young man, a very handsome man, a man who was far away from home and therefore unsupervised. A man who was wrongfully accused and wrongfully enslaved. But when Potiphar's wife decided to seduce Joseph, the Bible tells us that Joseph ran away. He ran outside. He even went to say, "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" So Joseph remained rooted in godly principles even in unfamiliar spaces. He remained a principled young man even when he was unsupervised. He remained principled even in an area where no one knew that Joseph knew God, or in an area where no one knew that Joseph was saved. So he didn't need an audience for him to walk in purity. And as a result of his obedience, the Bible tells us that God's favor was upon him. Everything that Joseph touched prospered. So I guess the message is this: a walk of purity brings about godly blessings. The second example is Daniel. When you read the book of Daniel, Daniel refused to defile himself in eating the food of a pagan land. He remained spiritually disciplined. He refused to bow down to the gods of the Babylonians. And as a result of that, there was also a blessing. The Bible tells us that he was one of the most wisest men in Babylon. And he was a man who ended up working with kings because of the wisdom that God has given him. So a walk of purity doesn't only have to do with sexual immorality. A walk of purity, it has to do with other things like culture, that remaining rooted in your Christianity, even in cultures that work against that. Remain rooted in your God, even in spaces that praise idols. So this message touched me so much when I was praying about it, and so much that I thought it was a good message for us to learn from. That we don't have to be watched. You don't have to act like a Christian publicly, whereas your private life doesn't